Mocha family, I was just looking for a book and thought it might be kind of fun to record for you guys what's in my bookshelf after all these years of homeschooling. So let me give you guys a tour. Before I go on with the tour, I wanted to say that I hope this really encourages you if you're homeschooling or thinking about homeschooling, because the truth of the matter is, at least for me, there are such hard and dry seasons that can come with homeschooling where you could feel like nothing is going right and that maybe you don't even realize how much progress you've made. But I love going through my books because the books tell the story. There's no denying everything that you've done when you see the curriculum that you've used and the notebooks that the kids have used. And it just really makes you realize that the end result is really a sum of all the years that you've put into it. One bad year will not make or break your homeschool. But look at this curriculum. One thing that I learned is do your research. When I bought this, it didn't have an assessment tool with it, but I went online and discovered that someone had made one, and it was wonderful. My active bookshelf for what I'm doing with Ms. Mocha Baby and my 11-year-old. I keep work that I have to look through or work like that I have to grade or things like that in this kind of shelving type situation. And these are my grading books for the umbrella school when I do the grading. And this is some record keeping type stuff. And this is the part of the CODA curriculum that my 11-year-old uses. Is Reformation. What's it called?
What?
I keep forgetting the name of it, but these are all the books. Good Queen Bess. That's not for that curriculum. A lot of books end up here that don't belong to. This is Miss Mocha Baby's shelf.
This is mine.
That's your shelf. She loves reading about the human. This is a personal book about the human body. It's a pop-up. She likes that. I love this little Bible curriculum. It's like little Bible story books, and I really like it. Not for the pictures per se, but because the stories just basically tell the Bible stories straight up without changing anything or adding anything in very simple English that she can read for herself. And I liked it as a read aloud before she could. And these are just readers that I pulled out of my shelf over the years.
I have them. I really read this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. I haven't read. Well, I'm reading Little Pear.
Why don't you pull it out? What are you reading?
This.
Reading Little Pear. Little Pear be bugging, right?
Yes, he's very crazy, and he doesn't listen.
He doesn't listen. That's right. Do you sell your curriculum right away when you get done? I like to keep mine. Comment down below what you like to do. I think I might want to think about selling some stuff soon though. This is my old kindergarten, pre-K stuff, like all that hands-on stuff you need to teach them the basics. And this is old Becca stuff, which I am holding on to because I've noticed from past experience that you can pull things from other curriculum and use it with the curriculum that you're using now. And there are times when a curriculum just isn't working, and it really helps if you have something else that you could fall back on. And so that's why I like to hold on to mine and even hesitate to lend stuff out, because I've lent things out in the past and forgotten who I've lent them to. So I have a lot of early readers all the way through high school. I have all the classics. I love Green Eggs and Ham. I could probably recite some of it by heart. But here's an example right here. The Mystery of History. That's volume 1. I think I'm using volume 2 now with Heart of Dakota, but I used volume 1 when we did Tapestry of Grace. So for this tour, I haven't shown you every single bookshelf. I think there's another bookshelf in the basement that I didn't go to, and my kids all have bookcases in their room where they have books, some school books, some personal books. But the Osborne series, I have a lot of Osborne science books because they're really colorful, Some of them have involved text and some of them have really short text. And I really love getting on the floor with my kids, and you read one section, I read one section, and if we find anything that we're really interested in, we delve in deeper. And that is a more secular science approach, and this is apologia, which is a more creationist science approach, and I use that from through middle school and high school, but I also supplement with secular science materials as well, just to make sure that there are no gaps, because they do still have to take the subject SATs or whatever kind of testing that they need, especially if they're headed for science-based fields. I want to make sure that nothing is left out, basically. But these are music books, so that's like my picture book case, and somehow the music books got in there, you guys. Spring cleaning needs to happen. It needs to happen quickly. You know, this was a curriculum that I purchased when I went to my first homeschool conference. The guy did such a good job on selling his curriculum that I thought that I needed to buy enough for all of high school. I bought this, guys. It was a history, literature, combined type of curriculum, and he just sold me. Like, all the assessment would be writing, but as you can see, you know, this stuff never made it out of the plastic wrap. My daughter used one. She did one of the books, and it was all right, but it wasn't so great that she wanted to keep going, that we neither of us wanted to keep going. This is Rod and Staff. I love the Bible that they had, and Rod and Staff is really inexpensive, but for us, we just felt like it was kind of bland and dry, and so we didn't end up using it, but I bought a lot of it. I bought a lot of the math. My girls, the pace of the math was just too slow. There was too much practice in it, and so we ended up doing something else. Egyptian stuff, casting the gods adrift. That's a reader. A lot of these books that I have, these readers that I have, come from Sunlight curriculum. I did Sunlight curriculum for a number of years and loved it. I stopped doing Sunlight because it was a very involved curriculum, and as I had to work with more and more kids, I found it hard to run multiple study guides at the same time, and so I stopped doing the actual Sunlight curriculum, but I still continue to look for and purchase the Sunlight books at various grade levels. So I feel like I've built a pretty good library of books because of that. And anyone can go on their website and see what books they're selling for whatever year. But as you guys can see, you just really end up with a treasure trove of books when you homeschool. And when I go through my bookshelf, I just feel humbled to have been able to delve into all of this one-on-one with my kids. And when I look at my high school kids, I see the fruit of all of that. So I just really, really want to encourage you. Like, if you're homeschooling and things don't seem to be going the way that they need to go, and you're not sure if you should have made the commitment that you made, and every day you want to quit, I just really encourage you to look through what you've done, look through where you've been. And sometimes what that'll do for me is it'll help me remember why I decided to homeschool in the first place. And I know a friend who would take pictures throughout the year, and at the end of the year, she made a little yearbook out of it. And it's the same concept. You know, unless you record what you're doing, it's easy to forget all that you've accomplished. This right here is Singapore math. That's worth a whole nother video. I'm thinking about bringing my husband, asking my husband if he'd be willing to do a video with me on the subject of math. He's a mathematician and has some unique ideas about the best way for us to work with our kids with math. If you think you'd be interested in hearing that video, please leave your comment down below. Teach your kids to read in 100 easy lessons is like a scrapbook for me of when all my kids learned how to read. I mean, the dates are in there, their initials are in there. It's all worth it, you guys. Be blessed.